if you're closing a circle, the possibilities are only few, the one that are within the circumference. The moment you see which that living in smart, it is not being smart. It's about recognizing that life is smarter. It doesn't matter how smart you think you are, how good you can survive. You found a combination. Maybe you understood how to make so much money with a software, with some trade, with some other things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if somehow you're fulfilling all your parameters. It is still not an intelligent way to live, because sooner or later, the moment you realize that it doesn't really matter how big you set your circle, it is still a boundary. So if the goal is mukti, it's better you have a very small circle so that you suffocate and you see that it is not an intelligent way of living like that. Not out of pettiness or out of lack of strength. I can be so strong. I will do 10 marathon. I will climb 20 mountain. So my mind I will dominate. This is madness. I know there are certain people, they are sharing the idea that this is the way of handling your life. This is simply madness. You can't beat it. You can just fool yourself. Freedom, well-being, it is the opposite. Being intelligent, it means that you cannot fight something which you are. We are alive. We are a piece of everything. We are immersed already into it. But somehow we want to build strong walls to have our idea of well-being. This is, believe me, the only way to go. I know, especially the future generation, but nowadays also with technology, everyone can show everything he wants. The first thing is you just don't get confused by all the nonsense that people are telling you. Even what I'm saying. You are intelligent enough. You might be very angry, you might be very frustrated, so that you need to marry some ideology that certain people they are showing to you. They want to sell. It's about selling. Not because you pay, but because they need you. You are intelligent enough to be touched by truth. What I'm telling you, it is not an idea. Those things doesn't come from my mind. That's why I consider them valuable. They come from allowing myself to go beyond that and be touched and use some other intelligence. We are not mind. We can use it. But if we use something and then we cannot stop it, we think that's it. And we feel trapped. Recently I spoke here in North India, extremely north, in the Himalayas, with a psychiatrist. And the number of mental illness is increasing drastically. Even here, you might think, how is possible? Obviously, if a virus is something which is in the air, you isolate yourself and you don't get it. You limit the amount of interaction with people and you don't get it. But this is something that you generate. This has to be understood. Obviously, it can be easily spread around because this is based on belief. And belief, obviously, you can believe or not. It's your choice. But the moment you believe, then you got the virus. Whether if you take the belief from me or if you generate it within yourself. So, the moment you see, and it is required intelligence, real intelligence, not because you are a champion of chess. Life intelligence, it's the real intelligence, because you want to live well. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you customize yourself. You can customize yourself, but if you get identified with it, that's a tragedy. I'm not telling you what not to do. I'm just telling you that it's a choice. If you're intelligent, you see which is not worth. Create some very small creation which is fighting, which is who you are. This is stupid. The moment you see it, everything becomes a possibility. Everything becomes a playground. That's what I'm saying. It seems something impossible. I know. But this is very possible. And this is what everyone wants. But few can see it. I really want you to be one of the few, unfortunately. I hope one of the many that see it. This is a personal thing. It has nothing to do with anybody else. The moment you see it, it's just a kind of snap. When you want to perceive it, when you want to be transformed by it, then it will happen. And instead of trying to find one thing, maybe you cannot even find it. That is why you are in the depressive state, which can just give you a little break from the pool of mud in which you are immersed. The moment you do it, the moment it will happen to you. But it will happen only if you allowed it to happen. Every second it wants to happen, that's what I'm saying. But every second you are fighting it. This has nothing to do with any kind of belief. It happened with your mechanism. The moment you're not scared to let go all your parameters, all the ideas of how your life should be, then it will happen. And as I said, the moment it will happen, you will serve life joyfully. It has nothing to do with a servant. You might think it's a disgusting thing to be a servant. Oh, I don't want to serve the owner of a house or the owner of any place. I want to be by myself, my boss. Obviously, in terms of business, no one wants to be restricted by only one role. You do only this. But being a servant of life means that you leave it totally. The opposite. You leave it totally. You somehow break your petty, very small and limited creation, which is what you're suffering. Again, I want you to listen to this. And then call it a servant of life. You will serve life means you will play with life. You will touch life. And you will see everything the way it is. Not through your spectacles, which somehow everyone see what they want to see. That's why so many conflict also. Everyone has a need of, and this something that doesn't make you feel good to just be restricted in the idea that you have over it. So everyone is in a state of very risky. A society in which everyone lives in their own bubble, it is very risky. It's about to explode. And we see they are exploding. This is not about, I'm not a sociologist, I'm not a scientist, I'm not anything. I'm just careful with myself, because I very much know that no one will save you, no one will save anybody if your intelligence is turned against you. No one in the world. No beliefs, no science, not your family, not your dog, nobody. The moment you take full responsibilities and you see that that's the only way you can do about yourself, then it will happen. The moment you're not carrying with you a huge bag, 50 kilos